Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. My name is Jane Parsington, and I am the Partnership Director at the Bread and Butter Thing. Our charity delivers healthy food to families in their local community, and we've been supporters of the Healthy Start scheme for a long while. I am delighted to have been given the chance to promote the scheme more widely. This video has been made with the support of the Greater Manchester Combined Authority and the Greater Manchester Food Security Action Network, a network working across GM whose mission is that no child should go hungry. Our purpose in making this video is to give people working with families with young children the information they need to promote the Healthy Start scheme, and so ultimately to make sure that everyone in Greater Manchester who is entitled to the benefit is claiming it. The video is going to cover the basics of the Healthy Start scheme, who is eligible for the scheme and how it works. And it'll also talk about what you can do to promote the scheme when you come into contact with families with young children. We'll tell you how the application process works and specifically what you can do when you meet people. And then we're going to leave you with some useful links which you can use in future to help promote the scheme. So what is the Healthy Start scheme? The Healthy Start scheme is an NHS benefit. It is not administered through the DWP with other benefits, but it stands alone. You have to apply separately and via an NHS website. It's a scheme that's been around for nearly 20 years, and it's intended to improve the diets of families with young children. It supports the purchase of healthy food and also provides free vitamins designed for young kids. It's paid weekly, and over the course of the life of a child, it can total £1,200, so it is a benefit worth having. Until 2022, the scheme was based on paper vouchers, but last year it was upgraded and moved to a prepaid card. Now is much easier for families to take advantage of. However, the average take-up of that benefit across Greater Manchester in January 23 was still only around 64%. That means a lot of families who are entitled to this additional support are not getting the benefits they could. So what does the scheme offer? The benefit is paid weekly, and it's £4.25 each week from the 10th week of pregnancy right the way through the child is 4. The benefit is doubled for children from birth to 1 year. That benefit is payable for every child in eligible families. There is no cap. With the benefit, you can purchase fruit, vegetables and milk in many forms. So it is can be used for fresh, frozen and tinned fruit and vegetables, and fresh, dried and tinned pulses. It can also be used for cow's milk and also for infant formula milk based on cow's milk. In addition, once eligible for the benefit, you're eligible for free vitamins. They are designed to be the key vitamins needed for pregnant or breastfeeding women, vitamins C, D and folic acid, and then for the children in the form of drops up to 4 years old. If you are eligible, the NHS will provide a prepaid card which they will top up each month with your benefit. The card works like any other debit card, and you can use it anywhere that accepts MasterCard. The logo is shown on the slide, and typically shops will have that logo up in the window or somewhere near the till. The shop you use it in has to sell eligible Healthy Start food items that we mentioned on the previous slide, so fruit and veg, whether frozen, tinned or fresh. Shops you can use it in include food banks, clubs and pantries. We have many of our members at the Bread and Butter Thing who use their Healthy Start card to pay for our vegetables. You can use it in supermarkets, convenience stores and grocery stores, in pharmacies who sell the right food, in markets and newsagents where they principally sell food. You can use it like any other debit card. You can save it up and spend more in a week, or you can keep the change. The card will not work in other shops such as off licenses, and it will also not work if that shop does not accept MasterCard. Card is very discreet. When you pay with it, you do not need to tell the shopkeeper that you are using your Healthy Start. You simply use the card as you would any other. So how do you get one and how do you use it? If you are accepted on the scheme, the card will be posted out to your registered address. And that's it. The benefit will then be automatically added every month until your child is 4. However, when people get the card, it has to be activated on receipt. And there's a key number now on this slide, which is the automated helpline for the scheme. When someone receives the card, they have to activate it. The card is also contactless, like many other that we use, but you do need the PIN the first time you use the card, and then you need it every so often afterwards as a security measure. The PIN will come with when the card arrives, but it can also be accessed on the same helpline if it's lost. You can check the balance on your card by using any cash machine and the PIN number, or you can phone up the same helpline and get the balance. You cannot use the card to withdraw cash, and you cannot use the card online. It has to be used in one of the stores that we mentioned on the previous slide. Once you have the card, you're also entitled to the free vitamins. How to collect the vitamins varies from borough to borough in Greater Manchester. So if you are interested in the situation in your area, you need to ask the midwives, the health visitors, GPs. They will know what your local collection mechanism is. For a family to collect the vitamins, they simply need to show the card to prove eligibility, and no money is taken, no data is taken from the card. On the NHS website, through this link, there is a list of pharmacies who are part of the scheme and who are providing the vitamins. You may be able to find local pharmacies using that link. So who is eligible? It is a means-tested benefit, very much focused on low-income families. I've listed the eligibility criteria here, but you can see at the bottom of this slide there is the link to the full eligibility if you're interested in more detail. In essence, the eligible families, whether it's the father or the mother or a carer who's applying, must be receiving one of those benefits: income support, income-based job seekers allowance, pension credit, universal credit, and then there is an income limit for that, and child tax credit the same. If you are under 18 and pregnant, you qualify regardless of your income level, although you need to remember that once the baby is born, you'll have to qualify under one of the other criteria. The benefit can be paid to families with no recourse to public funds, as long as they have one British child under 4 years old and meet the income levels. How do you apply? Under the new digital scheme, applying is meant to be quick and simple. And if you think you're eligible and you're receiving universal credit or child tax credit, you can apply online, and it should take less than 5 minutes. The information that you need to apply is your name, address, date of birth, national insurance number, due date if you're pregnant, and the full names and dates of birth of all children under 4. Once you put that information into the website, it will check against the DWP, and this is the key bit. The details have to match exactly. If the DWP are not up to date with your address, it will reject. If the DWP do not know about all your children, even if you're not claiming benefits for all of them, it will reject. We always recommend that somebody has a benefits letter from the DWP in front of them when they apply, to make sure they can get everything exactly as the DWP will recognise it. The other thing to remember at this stage is that the DWP also have to recognise that you are entitled to universal credit. So if a universal credit application is very recent, again, the DWP check may not work. There is no limit to the number of times you can have a go at applying online, and therefore there is always the possibility of waiting and then trying again. The online application system does not yet work for all families. If you're under 18, if you're on a legacy benefit like income-related employment support allowance rather than universal credit, if you have no recourse to public funds, or if you're eligible because you're receiving pension credit or working tax credit, you have to apply by email and the email address is there, or by calling the NHS Healthy Start line. If there are difficulties with applications, Citizens Advice or other local advice providers are well placed to support if you think families are eligible, but there are difficulties in applying. I've put the Citizens Advice Greater Manchester Healthy Start web contact details there. There are other organisations who are equally able to support. So, what can you do about introducing people to Healthy Start? We know that you cannot be an expert in all these details, but actually what we also know that there's still a lack of awareness about the scheme. It is not routinely mentioned by the DWP because, as I said at the beginning, this is an NHS benefit. So there is a lack of awareness which you can tackle. As you see families, as you're working in the community, just mention it. Put up information prominently. There are links in this video about how to get posters, and talk to people about it so that they know that they could be eligible and that they can have a go at applying. Remember, the weekly amount, £4.25 a week, seems small, but if you apply as you are 10 weeks pregnant, it will be over £1,200 by the time that child is 4, and you can apply for as many children as you have. If people know about the scheme but don't know how to apply, you can now direct them to the application page if relevant, or to the phone line, and explain the process and they can take it from there. I've got now some useful Healthy Start information which you can keep for future reference. There is a Healthy Start helpline which is used for general inquiries and those people who cannot apply online. That is answered and is answered during the day, although the hours are 8 till 6. There's also an automated line which is available 7 days a week, and that is if you want to activate your card, you've lost your card, forgotten your PIN, or you want to check the balance. There's also a very good detailed NHS leaflet available, which goes through the eligibility, how it works, what you can buy with it, and what the process is. That can be very useful to have available for families who want something to take away. And finally, some useful links. I've put here where you can check detailed eligibility, where you can get answers to frequently asked questions, where you can keep up to date, where you can find flyers and leaflets and posters to put up, and where the local vitamin distributors are listed. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate you taking the time. We are hopeful that by as many people as possible hearing this video and learning about the Healthy Start scheme, we can make every family in Greater Manchester aware of the scheme, to be able to think about whether they're eligible and if they are to apply, and significantly improve their ability to feed their young children healthy food. Thank you for listening.